In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your thermostat housing on your Mini Cooper. Make sure the vehicle's lukewarm, if not cold, before doing this job, so you don't get burned. Before beginning this job, we are going to be disconnecting the computer for the vehicle, so you're going to need a scan tool. You want to check the vehicle for any fault codes that may be on, even if your engine light isn't on. There could be fault codes in there. So check those, write them down, fix any fault codes that may be there. Then you may clear the memory. Now we're going to remove our lower radiator hose. I'm going to use my pliers to do that. Squeeze that hose clamp and either bring it forward all the way or back. I'm going to put this one forward, and now I'm going to take some pliers and just give it a good twist. You are going to lose some fluid at this point. So make sure you have a drip pan below. And if you can control the flow by not taking it all the way off, do it. Otherwise, just let it go. After you remove that lower radiator hose, you're going to loosen this cap up top to relieve the pressure. And then the rest of the coolant should come out. Using a 10mm socket, we're going to remove our negative battery terminal first. And we're just going to stick that down there. And now we're going to take our positive off as well, using a 10mm socket. You don't need to take the nut completely off. Remove that, set it aside. I just put a rag under here so nothing connects. And now we're going to remove this with a 10mm socket as well. I'm just going to swivel this over, get it out of the way. And I'll probably take my bolt out so I don't lose it. Now we're going to remove our vent hose. Should be able to just twist it off. Set it aside, just so it doesn't go anywhere. And now we're going to remove our battery. Just get your things out of the way. There is a handle on this one. Now we're going to lift it up and out. And remove it. Now we're going to remove 3 bolts with a 10mm socket. One here, here, and here. Using a T25 Torx, we're going to take out this bolt and this bolt. You're going to undo your hose clamp here. Ours is broken. And remove that. Now is a good time to take a look at your air filter. Ours obviously has some kind of a nest. There should be a bolt here and a bolt here. And we're going to take out this tray. We also have to clean this out, so I'm just going to pull it out and dump it in the trash. You can also use a vacuum if you want, if you have a nest as well. So unhook it from this bracket and pull it up. You're going to have to get past this inlet. Move that aside and just work your way out. Using a 10mm socket, we're going to go down here and take out this bolt for the battery tray. If there's a washer, remove that as well. We're going to unplug these. To do that, you pull out right here and disconnect. Do the same in the back one. You might have to wiggle these free. Make sure your lock tab is all the way out on both sides. And then you can unplug it. Remove this. Now that that's removed, you're going to be able to take your tray out. So just get everything out of the way and lift straight up. Now we're going to remove our hoses. This one here and this one here. I'm going to use a hose clamp cable plier to do this one. You can also go up top next to the airbox hose and use some needle nose or pliers to release the hose clamp, but these do make it easier. You're going to want to come up where the cap is, make sure the pressure is released, and push down with a pry bar to get that hose off. Again, have something to catch the coolant underneath. If there is any coolant left in the system. Once you get that one off, we're going to go over to this side and remove this hose as well. Remove the clamp. And now we're going to remove the hose. You may need a pry bar again, just to pry it off. And also a container underneath still to catch any more fluid. And then just set that over there, out of your way. I'm going to disconnect this connector just to get it out of the way. That's underneath the housing. First we're going to unlock it, the red tab, by pulling it out. And then we're just going to remove it. Now we're going to remove the 3 bolts. We're using a 10mm socket with an extension. Now I'm underneath, next to that sensor. And now I'm up top. Remove your bolts. They're all the same size. And now I'm going to remove the housing. You're going to have to turn it out and untangle it from this harness in order to get it out. And then the last hose you're going to remove is right here. And you should just be able to twist that one off. To get the housing on, you're going to feed the neck through first and pop it up through this harness the way it was. At least that's how ours was, and I'm going to follow that. And you're going to twist it around, make sure you don't break anything. It's a little tight fit. And I'm still holding my thermostat in place as I do this. And you're going to turn it and have the neck upwards. If you remember, it wasn't easy getting out, so it's probably not going to be easy getting it in. But just remember, the neck is up top and the cap. double check, make sure everything's lined up still. And now you can place your housing on top of that gasket. Make sure you're all lined up. And you can get one bolt started up top. Just finger tight. And that'll hold things in place. And I'm going to go for my one on the bottom. Now I'm going to put the last bolt in, and again we're just making this finger tight for now. You want all 3 bolts in place before tightening anything down. And you want the whole thing to be flush as well. Now we're going to tighten these down and torque them to 106 inch-pounds. I'm going to start with the hardest one to get to. And that's the one on the bottom for me. I'm going to go from bolt to bolt, go all the way around. Make sure it's flush as you tighten it down. You don't want to just tighten one only and then go to the next one, because you'll break it. There's torque one. I'll go over to this other one, torque that one, and finally the bottom one. And there we go. After you're done torquing it, we're going to put our hoses on and connect that connector. Now we're going to connect our connector, slide it on, make sure it clicks, and then lock it in place. Push that red tab in, check your work. Feels good. Now we're going to put our hoses on. I'm going to start with this little one in the back. Just slide it on. There is a line on the hose where you can line it up with this tab here. And we'll put this top one on. This one was a little snug. You might need a little silicone paste on there if you can't get it on. Again, line it up. There's a white mark on the hose for the top. And now we're going to do this bottom one. I left my pliers there holding the clamp. Slide that on, get your hose clamp back where it was. I like to match it up right where the indent is, and we can release that. Before putting your things back together, we're going to remove our rag and make sure it's all cleaned up first, since we're not going to be able to get in there after. Just clean up any puddles that may be. And then you can put your air box and battery tray back in. Now let's slide this down, make sure everything's out of the way and you have your cables and computer plug-ins. And everything should line up. Our bolts here are broken and frozen, so we're just going to put that right on top. As long as it doesn't go anywhere, it's fine. Get these guys ready. I'm going to put this washer here. That's where I found it. And get our bolts started there. Let's get this one started as well, and then we'll tighten those down. Tighten this one down as well. Now let's put our computer back. This slides into place. But before we do that, we're going to get our connections right. Make sure these lock tabs are out. Lock them in. Do the same on the other side. This will not get seated properly if these lock tabs aren't out all the way. So you shouldn't have to fight it. Once it's lined up, it should want to go down on its own, and then this will actually push it in all the way. Now you can lock this into place. It goes where those two pieces are that you push forward to release it. This little rubber piece slides in here. Let's slide our air box in. You do have to get it past this area here where the inlet is. You might have to give it a little persuasion. Now you can put your air filter in. Slide this in. We are missing some bolts for this. So put your bolts in if you had taken them out. Wait, this should be one here and one here. There's two slots here. And they line up with these two tabs. And put this hose on. And tighten your hose. Let's tighten down these two bolts. We're going to install our battery. I usually walk mine over, they're pretty heavy. And lower it down. Put your vent hose on. And now we're going to put our hole down over there. Lower the handle. So swivel that back. Get your bolt. I would start it by hand first. Make sure you thread it in there properly. And tighten it down. Once that's tight, we can now connect our positive battery terminal. Take my rag out of there and connect it. I accidentally took my nut all the way off, so I'm going to just thread that on real quick. And tighten it down. Snug it up, make sure it doesn't move. And now we're going to do our negative battery terminal. Bring that over, connect it, and snug it up. I'm making sure this underneath part goes in the way it belongs. And snug it up. Get your hose clamp ready with your hose clamp pliers. You're going to slide your hose on. Make sure that this line lines up with that notch, that little thing sticking out on the outlet. Slide your hose clamp on and let it clamp down. You're going to get inside your Mini Cooper. Before you start it, you want to get the car ready. So you're going to put it on heat all the way up and put your fan on low. I'd put it on 1 and just make sure that's set before you even begin filling up the coolant. Now we're going to remove our cap so we can fill up our system. You're going to push down and twist. It's a little tough to do, but it should unhook and come out. It's spring-loaded, so it's a little tough. So now we have our funnel installed on our cap. Use whatever you have. We're going to fill up our system with the coolant that the manufacturer recommends. You should do the same, and you're going to fill it up until it no longer keeps going in, and you're about here. Now that we have coolant in our funnel, we're going to open up our bleeder screws. There are 2 on this car. There's one where the upper radiator hose is on the passenger side in the front, and then there's one in the back underneath the power steering reservoir and next to the oil filler cap. You're going to go down there and crack that open using a Phillips head or a flathead screwdriver, and you're going to watch the air come out. You're going to hear it come out, and you're going to do that with both screws. Then you're going to close down your screws. You're going to notice that the level went down in your funnel, and you're going to start the vehicle. You already have it in position where you need the heat to be, so you're just going to let it run, let it get warm, and see if you have heat. If you don't have heat, you're going to shut the car off after a while, and you're going to reopen those bleeder screws, let out the air, close them down. When the air is all done, close them down. You're going to notice the coolant went down again in the funnel. You should be all set at this point. You're going to start the car, make sure you have heat, top it off, make sure it's at max in the reservoir, which is the container that's next to the power steering reservoir, and make sure it's at max. Now you can put your cap back on. You're going to push down after you line up the cap to the neck, and you're going to twist down, and then you're going to go again and twist down. It's a little tough. You're going to hit 1 notch, push down again, and then hit another notch, and then you're good. Now that you've plugged in your computer, you want to go back in with your scan tool, and you're going to read out the fault memory, check for stored fault messages again. You're going to fix anything that's causing codes, and then you're going to clear the memory once again.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.